Talmor, Shishin Magachi. Talmor is my home. My family have worked the land for generations. My gran says the island does not belong to us, but we belong to the island. And we must be ready, for a great evil is coming, and death follows with it.
Listen and subscribe to the latest season of Undertow, The Harrowing, a Storyglass production presented by Realm, available wherever you get your podcasts.
Hey there, it's Rachel Ballinger, and I am thrilled to invite you to Rachel Uncensored, my podcast where I get real with my friends and celebrity guests, where we talk about all sorts of topics. From personal stories to hot-button issues, we cover it all. New episodes drop every Wednesday, so make sure you tune in on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you listen to podcasts. Trust me, you won't want to miss out on the fun and candid conversations we have here on Rachel Uncensored.
And now, listen to this on the Toddcast podcast.
When you think back to being a kid watching TV, what's one of the first memories? I don't really remember the show all too well, but I do remember Buck Rogers and running around the house when the show's intro started. It's funny, I don't remember the show, but I do remember being stoked that it was on. I was young, probably 4, maybe 5. Beyond that, wrestling is probably my oldest television memory, and we watched them all, of course. Stampede Wrestling, All-Star Wrestling, World Championship Wrestling, the WWF, now the WWE, Hogan and Bundy and Volkov and the Iron Sheik and Ricky the Dragon and British Bulldogs and Macho Man. It's likely the key reason you're hearing so many wrestlers on this podcast over the years. You've seen Ray Lynn on WWE Raw, AEW, Women of Wrestling, MCW Pro Wrestling, and when she jumped on the podcast to be a guest, we put her on the same week as Ozzy's guitarist Zakk Wylde because we know she's a huge fan, and we got into it with her, talking about binge watching shows. Aliens and the X-Files came up. Paula Abdul, Elton John, family, country music. She shared a near-death story where she's driving down the road and they change seats with the driver. What? Ryan Reynolds came up, so did teleportation and superhero movies in general. And we asked Ray Lynn a damn near impossible question. You're stranded on a deserted island. Which 3 albums do you need to have with you? It's a tough question to answer. Listen to this.
Oh my God. Okay, so Guns N' Roses.
The original Appetite.
Yeah. That's I listened to that like on repeat in Japan. I don't know why I was like so into it at that point in my life.
Yeah.
Black Label Society is one of them, but I'm drawing a blank on what album it is. It has Berserkers on it.
You weren't kidding around. Like
No, I wasn't.
You're a fan of.
I have his book. I love that book.
And he's another one of those guys that's really fun to talk to. Like, I don't know if you've ever watched Zakk Wylde interviews, but
his interviews and his book. And then like he likes wrestling too. So that's cool.
Huge fan. Yeah. Okay, so those are two. That's 2 good starts.
Third one. I'm going with Biggie for my third one. Because like I said, I like hip hop, so I need to mix it up a little bit.
Yeah. You gotta have some hip hop in there.
Listen to This on the Toddcast podcast is brought to you by Tedco RV Supplies in Langley, an ICBC approved repair shop. Visit them on Facebook and Twitter at Tedco RV Supplies.
GZM Shows and the creators of 6 Minutes are rolling out their newest audio adventure with the podcast Discovering Dad. A cautious single dad with a secret past and his rebellious kids embark on a thrilling quest complete with hidden treasure, villains, and a family curse. New episodes of Discovering Dad roll out weekly starting June 11th on Apple Podcasts. Follow the show so you never miss an episode, or listen early and ad-free as a GZM Shows subscriber. Go to gzmshows.com to learn more.
Hey there, it's Rachel Ballinger, and I am extremely excited to invite you to Rachel Uncensored. It's my podcast where I sit down and get real with my friends and celebrity guests, where we talk about all sorts of topics. And sometimes we might be under the influence when we do so. We cover things from personal stories to hot-button issues. And it's the only place on the internet you can find an uncensored version of me. It's a side of me that you might not have seen before because it's not the most family or brand friendly. But don't worry, I'm still sort of slightly a decent human being. If you're intrigued, then make sure you check it out. New episodes drop every Wednesday. You can find it on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you listen to podcasts. Trust me, you won't want to miss out on the fun and candid conversations we have here on Rachel Uncensored.